What makes one vacation rental outperform the other by 35 to 40%, even when they seem similar at first glance? Today, we're breaking down 2 one-bedroom condos in North Myrtle Beach. We're going to look at one, which we consider more of an upscale property, a second, which we consider more in the mid-scale range. We're going to go room by room to show you kind of the details of what they look like. Let's go into it and hop into the first condo now. All right, so we're in our first condo. I am going to introduce Kinsey. She's behind the camera right now, but she's gonna be sort of our design expert as we look at these 2 different condos. This is the first one we're starting out in. It's a good condo. It actually performs decently well. It does about, I wanna say 28,000 in 2024. We'll dive more into the numbers later, but there is a difference in revenue between a good condo and a great condo. And if you're coming at it from an investment point of view, you obviously want to maximize the revenue and get the most revenue possible. And a lot of that comes down to design, right? So as we look in here, again, there's modern furnishings. The table's nice, a big smart TV, which is great. Always recommend that in the living room. Good table. Couch is decent, a little bit older, but couch is decent. But I would say the main thing that kind of stands out to me in here is the color. There's kind of a lack of consistency in colors. It doesn't really blend well. Like you have the chair that's green, you have this really dark blue couch, the color of the coffee table, and even this big TV stand. It just differs a lot. And then as we look at the walls, it's kind of this consistent, like very light gray or white color. And it doesn't make the space really pop all that well. And then as we go into the kitchen, again, we're looking at modern stuff like nice countertops, stainless steel appliances. The flooring's great. I'll point out the floor is a nice sort of modern LVP. But again, there's not a great cohesiveness. You can kind of tell in this unit that it wasn't professionally designed, and that's what sort of stands out from me. It does look pretty good in the photos, but it's not something that catches your eye, and those great condos are gonna catch your eye. They're really gonna stop the guest in their tracks, and I just don't see it here in the living room or kitchen.
All right, my name's Kinsey McGonigal. I'm the design expert for these condos. Today, I'm gonna be talking about this first condo that we're about to go through. I think the condo's overall nice. It's beachy, it's good. It's not great like the next one you're gonna see in the next clip. The couch is nice, the color's cute. Nothing really matches in here. It seems like they got something and then they threw in something and then they threw in another thing. This is kind of giving a little older of a vibe. We could throw in a few more pillows, maybe a different light, maybe some different pictures. Like these pictures look like a bit older. Even curtains in here could be very pretty. These are just kind of hard to work with. They're just a little bit older. And same with those. They're a little harder to work with. The flooring's pretty nice. I feel like it brings in that like beachy, it's light, colorful, and fun. But overall in the living room, it is a little difficult because there is a bunch of different like just random things kind of put together, right? In the kitchen, it is super nice. This is really nice. The chairs are cute with the beachy theme, kind of trying to tie that beachy-ish theme together. But the kitchen is really nice. It's definitely up to date, but it is not nearly as nice as the one that you will be seeing in the end of the video.
All right, now we're in the bedroom. Again, kind of the same story, right? The thoughts there, it's not terrible, but there's just not cohesiveness here. It's not something that looks incredibly appealing in the photos, which again, I keep bringing that up, but that's important, right? We have over 17,000 listings in our market. It's important to be able to catch guest attention as they're going through that scroll, right? As they're on Airbnb or VRBO, you want to stop them in the scroll. I see what they kind of try to do here with the colors, but the colors don't necessarily match up all that well. I'd show the bathroom, but it's a little dark in there, and once we turn the light, it gets a little loud. Again, we have this blue color, then we have red, white comforter is fine, this accent pillow is fine, but the blues don't necessarily match up super well. Even if you look at this photo, again, I know I'm getting into the details here, but like this blue is different from that blue. You're not gonna be able to match it up perfectly every time, but there's just kind of a lack of cohesiveness here. And I think that definitely makes a difference when you're talking about revenue differences between good and great condos.
I totally agree with everything that Declan said. Overall, the room just doesn't really tie well together. As you can see, even just this bedspread, it's just so flat. Doesn't look like, oh, let's like go to the beach and come in here and get comfy after. It's just kind of like, Even just adding a few more pillows could be nice, or even just a simple headboard. Even with this teal color, the teal is just not, it's not in, you know? Like if we had a light blue or a beachy blue or a coastal green or like something a little like prettier or something that's gonna catch your eye, like, oh yeah, but like this teal is just not in right now, so it just doesn't look good. And then with the red, like not trying to be like this, but like there's no red in here. So, you know, it's not, doesn't look great. And nothing in here necessarily matches again. The pillow's pretty. We have a picture right here. I mean, it could be cute if we had the right walls, you know? And then even with this, it's just, this dresser just is like kind of awkwardly here, you know, maybe even if you just put the TV on the wall and didn't have a dresser in here. I mean, of course, if you're on vacation, some people like to unpack and put all their stuff away, but if you don't have the room, you don't need to just throw a dresser in here just to have a dresser in here. You know, it's a little bit awkward. But overall, I mean, this room does need a lot of work, but it is your bedroom and you are kind of out on the beach a lot and do whatever you do on vacation.
All right, now we are in the superior condo, we'll call it. This one does really well for us. It performs top notch. I'll share some of those numbers later. But first, I wanted to share my opinion on things. So this is the living room. This is really the money shot for us. As you can see, the accent wall with the big TV and the fireplace is pretty stunning. All the colors, in my opinion, just go together really nicely. You also have kind of a nice sort of modern couch. As you go into the kitchen, you have this beautiful waterfall countertop that's makes it look really ritzy, and then these light fixture finishings are just, it really puts it over the top. And all the colors, like I said, are consistent. I'm not nearly the expert on colors, but I think the place just overall blends well. It all kind of makes sense. There's nothing that feels off, really. I think what's spectacular here is they got the details right. Obviously, you have the stainless steel appliances, like I said, the nice countertops, a big TV, but everything even down to just the handles on the cabinets to, you know, some of these other furnishings where you might hang your towel or your coffee cups. Even the coffee cups are the same color as the walls and sort of grays you see in here. So overall, it just came together really nicely. And then next we'll go to the bedrooms.
So I totally agree with Declan. The accent walls are amazing. The fireplace looks excellent with everything and it ties everything together. This is cute. It brings in that beachy theme. The colors are great in here. I feel like everything pairs well in the couches and the chairs. I do believe like a different rug, maybe like more like a brown beachier theme would pull everything together to switch things up a little bit, because we do have a lot of grays here, but we are like at the beach, so I think like a brown, very nice in there. And then the kitchen, of course, is very beautiful, very modern, very up to date with the stainless steel and the lighting and all of that. I do believe we could bring in different, you know, like decor and stuff, because that looks nice, but I feel like it looks a little cheesy at times. The lights are beautiful, and then this touch to it is really pretty as well. Yeah.
Now in the bedroom, now this is a smaller room. It's nothing, I would say, over the top or, you know, it's put together really well, but it is one of the smaller spaces. That being said, they did a good job of kind of maximizing it. This right here is actually a window to the outside, which can be a little weird if you just have a window facing like the elevator, for example, because we're right by the elevator. But what they did, and is really cool, is they added all this storage space. So you can kind of see in here, this is just extra storage space. Now, will a guest ever really need all this? No, but it is kind of unique. It is a nice design. You know, maybe the guest doesn't use it all, but it's just a nice addition to have. Bed's pretty simple. I do like the bed frame. Again, they're staying consistent with the colors. Nice little sort of furnishings on the wall. Up top on the ceiling, this is really cool with these cross beams. This nice, like almost bamboo type fan and kind of the wood slats running across really make it unique. I've never really seen something like this in another place, but it does kind of give me Hawaii vibes. It does kind of give me beach vibes, and all melds together really nicely.
Yeah, so I totally agree with Declan. This is awesome feature to have in here. I mean, of course, it's a lot of storage. We're not really going to use it all, but it does look really nice and it ties the room all together. In this room, it's a little smaller, but I mean, you're sleeping in it and doing whatever you need to do in it, and you're not really in the room as much as you would think. The bedspread's really cute. I think we could add a few more pillows to make everything pop a little bit more. The decor is pretty nice, but we do need things to match a little bit better sometimes. This part is really unique. It's very pretty, and I really do love how this looks. I feel it brings that like beachy vibe to it, like Declan said. And yeah,
Now for the numbers, the part that everybody wanted, I saved it to the end. The Superior condo produced about 33% more revenue than the first condo that we looked at. And a lot of that came down to those design differences, those physical differences that we showed you, but those also lead to a few other things. So one, it leads to better photos, right? More eye-catching photos that attracts more bookings. It also leads to more 5-star reviews because the guest is having a better experience. And because we're getting more 5-star reviews, we're ranking higher on those Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com algorithms and platforms. And then also because the guests had a great time, they're probably going to want to come back. We definitely see more repeat bookings on that second condo we looked at. And because of that, again, we're driving a higher occupancy. When we get repeat bookings, we can drive higher numbers because we can increase the unbooked nights. So repeat bookings are a big factor in driving revenue. Now, getting into the numbers specific. So the first condo had really good occupancy this past year. It had about 75% occupancy, which is really strong. It also had about $28,000 in rental revenue, which is good for a 1-bedroom. We have some 1-bedrooms and good resorts that produce about $19,000 to $20,000. So $28,000 is a really strong number. Now, the second condo actually had a little less occupancy, about 68%. That was mostly due to the owner using it more throughout the year, but it also had a much stronger revenue number of about $37,000 for the year, right? A significant difference. And those differences are big in real estate where your margins are pretty small. You know, having that much better of a revenue number can really, really help your cash flow. Now, when it comes to amenities and location, I didn't want this video to really undermine those two things. This isn't really about that. Those things are incredibly important, but I really just wanted to highlight the difference in the design. And as you can see, 2 condos with very similar amenities and pretty similar locations in North Myrtle Beach can have a big delta between their revenue numbers, which again just highlights the importance of design and how it drives revenue. And it comes down to the details. That first condo that we looked at wasn't necessarily a bad condo. By no means. I would say, again, we rank that as more of a mid-scale property. There's a lot of updates and modern touches that condo had, but the design was just executed much better on that second condo, leading to much better revenue numbers. If you're investing in a vacation rental, remember, it's not just about having a nice place. It's about setting it apart and making it an unforgettable experience. So what do you think? Which condo would you have booked if you were coming on a vacation? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for design or property management help in the North Myrtle Beach market, reach out to us at mybeachrentals.com. We help with management, and we really, really try to put together great condos that outperform the market consistently year over year. So thank you guys for watching. Please follow this channel for more vacation rental insights in the Myrtle Beach market. I'm constantly doing about 1 video per week, trying to bring as much value as I can. So follow the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.